Hello everyone, my name is Sadie Rick and I'm going to be giving a presentation on the lesson plan I made. This is my student Shelby over here, he's going to be helping me out. And just for reference, if I go and motion towards the display, would be like the whiteboard in my classroom. So, hello everyone, thanks for coming to class today. Our lesson plan today is going to be talking about addition of numbers through 1 and 20 using word problems. So first, to start off our lesson, we're going to be talking about the vocabulary words we use whenever we're talking about addition problems. So, one of our big vocabulary words we use when we're talking about addition problems is the word plus. So, that's that big cross symbol we see whenever we're doing addition problems that tells us that we're adding two numbers together. So, another vocabulary word we use is those two numbers that we're adding together are called our addends. Can you say that with me? Addends. Good job. So, after we have our two addends and our plus, we have one more symbol with two lines, and that is called our equal sign. So that is just telling us that whatever number on the other side is the product of those two numbers. So, this number that lies at the other side of the equal sign is called the sum. The sum is what we call a number when you add two of the addends together. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. So, one other thing we need to know before we start our word problems today is how do we know that we're being asked to add something when we're in a word problem? There's some certain words that we use in a word problem that tell us that we're going to add those two numbers together. So some of these numbers could be joining two numbers together, combining two numbers, how many are they all together. So these are some key vocabulary words that we use when we're talking about addition. So to start off our lesson, just a little bit further, we're going to be doing our lesson in the structure of a think aloud. So, a think aloud is really just how it sounds. Whenever you're solving a problem, you're going to say what you're thinking out loud when you're solving the problem. So, also, as a note, in this lesson plan, there are 3 different manipulatives that are used, but as a shortened version, I'm going to be using one manipulative, counting chips, but I don't really have counting chips, so I have some coins right here that I'll be using. So, to show us the structure of how a think aloud goes, I'm going to show you, using the board and our manipulatives right here, just how we would solve a problem like that. So, for example, the problem is Emma has 2 apples. Her friend gives her 3 more apples. How many apples does Emma have in all? So, does that sound like an addition problem to you?
I think so.
I think so too. It says, how many apples does Emma have in all? So that's a word that tells us that it's an addition problem. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use my counting chips. So it says Emma has 2 apples already. So I'm going to have 1 counting chip, 1, and 2 chips to represent the 2 apples that Emma has. Now, it says that her friend gives her 3 more. So already with the 2 I have, we're going to add 3 more chips. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3. Now, the problem asked us how many apples does Emma have in all. Looking here, these are all the apples she has in all. Let's see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emma now has 5 apples in all. That number is the sum. Could you tell me the 2 addends that are in this equation?
I think it's 2 and 3.
Good job! Perfect. So, if we have a problem that says 2 plus 3 equals 5, That's the same as this problem of Emma having 2 apples and getting 3 more apples. So, now it's gonna be your turn to try. I'm gonna give you a problem and we're gonna try and solve it using our counting chips. And I want you to think aloud while you're solving it.
Okay.
And when we're all done, we're gonna write down our answer in our student journal. Try your best to use the vocabulary words that we talked about. Alrighty. Looking at this problem right here. Mia has 2 pencils. She finds 5 more in her backpack. How many pencils does she have now?
Okay. So,
All right.
Oh, can I
Go.
start?
Yes.
So Mia has 2 pencils, so I'll take 1 and 2. And then she finds 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pencils.
That's perfect. You did a great job. All right, now we're gonna go down into our student journal and we're gonna write 2 plus,
Is that the cross?
yes, that is our plus sign. Good job. And what was the other add-in we had in our equation?
5.
5. So we're at 2 plus 5, our equal sign. And then what was our sum?
7.
Perfect. That was a great job. Now, if we're going to have I'm going to give you a little bit of a harder problem.
Okay.
So, if you had 5 plus 2, what would be the sum of that equation?
5 plus 2.
Yes.
Can I use my coins?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to start over. So I'm starting with 5.
Yes.
So here, 1, 2, 3, 5. And then I'm adding 2 to the 5.
Yes.
So 1, 2, and then. Oh, it's the same answer.
Yeah, so can we write it in our book? So when we start with 5,
So it'd be 5 plus the 2
perfect.
equals 7.
So do you see we get the same sum whenever you switch the add-ins in your problem?
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. So there are different ways that we can solve problems. So that's one way, and there's different varieties of different ways that we can use coins. We could use paper clips. We could use candy. We could use anything to help us solve an addition problem. Alrighty. So would we like to try another one?
Sure.
All right, perfect. So let's try a little bit of a harder one. You have 7 stickers, and your friend gives you 4 more. How many do you have in all?
So I have 7 stickers.
Yes, we're starting with 7 stickers.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she gives me 4 more.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11
Oh.
stickers.
Yeah, good job. And now we got a higher number than the 2 numbers that were less than 10. And now we got a number that's higher. Good job. So what would happen if we took 2 of the stickers away? What would we be left with?
9.
9.
stickers.
Great job. So now you see we can combine our some together, but we can also take them away. That's a great job as an introduction to a new skill. All right, we are going to wrap up our lesson for today. So, just as a review, could you tell me what we would call one of our numbers that were added together?
Additives.
Add-ends. That's a great job.
Add-ends.
All right, and what is that little sign that we call when that tells us to add numbers together?
Plus sign.
The plus sign, great. And what is that number that is the two of those add-ends combined?
The sum.
The sum, perfect. And what symbol tells us that the next number is going to be our answer?
The equal sign.
Great job. So you've done a great job at communicating and showing all of your academic vocabulary, and you've done a great job at demonstrating that you understand the skills. All right, that is going to be the conclusion of my lesson for today. Thank you so much.